Hour is as close as it gets. Welcome to A Free Solution.
Hey, it is Larry Sharp here on A Free Solution. Also, by the way, host of The Sharp Way Show. Feel free to follow me on The Sharp Way on YouTube or Facebook or all the interweb cool things. But here I'm on WYSL, Rochester, New York, WENY, Elmira Corning, The Patriot, and WACK in the cool Newark, New York. 585-346-3000 if you want to reach out and tell me some cool stuff or yell at me. It's fine. I get insulted at least once a week, so you could do that too if you like. I want to bring up, as I often do, what's happening here in New York State. And there are many things happening. Some things that, in theory, are pretty good. Last week, I was talking about us beginning to open up more, right? Kind of moving away from the COVID lockdowns and the fear and moving away from that. And that's a wonderful thing. I also talked about the downside of that. And that's happening again. In New York City, my mayor, the local Baron Wilhelm de Blasio, he said, we're going to open up the entire city by July 1. That's it. To heck with this governor. I don't care about our king. I will open it up. And then our king, His Majesty, King Andrew Cuomo II, oh, hail the king, he decided, I'll show you, and I will open up by May 19th. That'll teach you a lesson. Insolent dog. That will teach you a lesson. But what our king did, very savvily, is that a word, savvily? It is now, got New Jersey and Connecticut to agree. So the tri-state has to open up. And it's all because of our king. And might say, Larry, come on, that's silly. Who's going to buy that story? Lots of people. Lots of people are buying that story, that now our king is the enlightened one. See that? He's the enlightened one. He cares about us. He is going to reopen the state and the tri-state area because, as he tells us, almost every other press conference, he runs the Governors Association. He's the boss. He's the boss governor. He takes care of all of them. So he's getting things done because he cares about us. And that's his spin. His spin now is that he's saving us all, the entire tri-state area, by opening it up by May 19th, because he's a generous God. That's what he's doing. It's almost as if he never shut us down in the first place. It's almost as if he's done nothing wrong, and he's saving us from this crazy guy who locked us all down. God, who was that guy? Oh, wait, it was him. Oh, wait, it was him. And the damage that's being done, if you happened to watch his latest press conference, which sadly, I have to punish myself by watching that. I have to. So as I watched that, he actually was saying, you don't understand. There's so much other damage. You know how he does that speech he does when he talks to like, Anna, as if he cares, and he's so shocked. You don't understand all the damage that's being done by these lockdowns to our children. They can't go to school, and they can't be with their friends, and the social damage, as if we weren't screaming that to him last year, as if we weren't saying that to him last year, as if he wasn't the guy who did all this to us. So he's punching you in the face and going, you don't understand. As I punch you in the face, it's going to hurt your face. Somebody should stop punching you in the face. You know what? I'm going to stop punching you. See what a glorious God I am? And people are eating it up. Thank you so much, Your Majesty, for letting us actually get back to work. But then there's one step further that he does. He doesn't just do that and act like, I don't know who locked these people down. No one understands the damage this idiot did by locking us all down, but I'm going to open us up. When he opens us up, he then talks about how, oh, you want all your freedoms back? Okay, get vaccinated. And to be forward, I'd say it all the time. I am not anti-vaccine. Never have been, still aren't. I am absolutely anti-mandate. I stand by that 100%. I will stand by that no matter what. I'm 100% anti-mandate. So he doesn't do it. And he said, well, it's unpopular. That's what he said. He didn't say it was wrong. So I guess we should be happy that he's in political trouble right now. Otherwise, he might have done it. He doesn't think mandating you to get a shot in your arm is wrong at all. He thinks, yeah, that's unpopular. I better not do that. I might get booted. I can't do that one. That's what he said. So instead he says, get vaccinated and go to the baseball game. Get vaccinated and go to this thing. Oh, you want your regular rights? Is that what you want? Your regular rights? You could have them if you do what I say. Oh, did I call them rights? I was kidding. What they are privileges that I, as your Lord and Master King, will give you if you enforce the King's will. If you enforce the King's will, you can have some privileges. The second you stop, those are gone. Those are gone. You don't get to keep them unless you do as I say. And you would think that the average New Yorker would say, well, wait a minute. Don't I get freedoms? They're in our state constitution and they're in our national constitution. Don't I get those? And he was like, well, in theory. I mean, but no. I mean, it sounds good. Maybe if you write a book or something, it'll look good. People will buy it. But no. I'm your king. I'm your Lord and Master. I grant your privileges as I see fit. And I know people think I'm joking and teasing when I say that. And I kind of am. But to be forward, there's a part of him who believes that. And I'm actually not angry at that because you always have people who believe that. What shocks me is the amount of New Yorkers who actually think he's right. That's the worst part. That's the part that to me is sometimes so shameful, sometimes so embarrassing, sometimes so hurtful for me to accept that I struggle with it. I do. I don't want to believe that it's true, but it is. That's the problem. I don't want to believe that's true, but it totally is. I see it in my neighbors. I see it in New Yorkers when I travel the state. I see it on TV when I watch the news. I see it with the news anchors who just say what he wants. But I got to tell you, there was a bright light in the last press conference. And the bright light was there was a bunch of reporters who actually pushed back. That was a good thing. They actually pushed back. And it's rare to see that, but we actually saw it. We saw some press people not just go, okay, Governor, tell us how awesome you are. Or, okay, Governor, please tell us when we can have our privileges back. There were some who said, isn't this wrong? What about the bad stuff you did? Isn't that wrong? There was some who actually said that. So I think there is some hope that makes any sense. There is some light. There is a little bit. And not just that, if people start to actually get some of their freedoms back, they may start going, why did I lose them in the first place? I can only hope. Otherwise, the precedent that we've set will mean we'll just do it again. And if you see what he's been saying, and many governors have been saying, but particularly him, that he has this graphic, which is him tightening the valves. I'm saying it right? Valve? Okay. This wheels. There we go. Tightening the wheels to make it tighter or looser. And he says those valves never go away. They stay. Valves. Thank you, valves. They never stay away. They never go away. So he'll decide to tighten them whenever he wants or untighten them whenever he wants. Those shouldn't exist, but they do. So the next time there's an emergency, yeah, I'm doing air quotes, emergency, he can tighten them again because it's for your safety. That's what it's about. You've heard me say this more than once. We've decided that the number one job of every executive we have is to keep us safe. It's not. The number one job is to guard our rights. The Constitution provides our rights. Executives defend the Constitution. We defend ourselves. Doesn't happen. It should. Larry Sharp, a free solution, 585-346-3000. Back after the break.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at Simple Tech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, Simple Tech Innovation should be your first call. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182.
Craig from Clinton.
You're
welcome.
Simple Tech Innovations.
The Finger Lakes Castle team is in its 7th decade of factory direct service to the service professional. From cleaning the ins and outs of your vehicle to keeping you on the road, Castle's got you covered. Castle makes streak-proof glass cleaner, FDA-registered sanitizers, and EPA-registered hospital-grade disinfectants. Remember, when you need to keep it clean, use what the pros use. Castle. Accept no substitutes.
A message from the National Police Association. It used to be that any able-bodied person would offer to assist a police officer in danger. Now, passers-by are more likely to take a video. There's a better use for your phone when an officer's in trouble. Call 911. Tell the operator where you are and what you see. Then, start your video to provide evidence later. To learn more about how you can assist law enforcement, visit nationalpolice.org. That's nationalpolice.org.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to Simple Tech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that Simple Tech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at Simple Tech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at Simple Tech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
A free solution.
Yes, indeed, it is a free solution. Larry Sharp here, host of the Sharp Way Show. But this show, by the way, is on every day, not just Tuesday and Thursday when I'm on. We also have the super cool, absolutely super cool, Kevin Wilson, and the ultimate, the man himself. We even get Andrew Hollister on this thing. Can you believe that? Come on, how lucky are we? You can follow us, our free solution, on YouTube and also on Facebook, so you can get the show every day. Not a bad deal. But right now, I'm here WYSL, Rochester, New York, WENY, ENI, Elmira and Corning, The Patriot, WACK in Newark, New York, 585-346-3000. A lot of you guys give me comments. I appreciate it. And I will get right to those comments. Let me first, if I could, grab a call. I have Craig here from Clinton.
Hi, Larry. How are you?
What's going on, my friend?
Oh, just calling because I'm happy, that the governor has decreed that life's going to get back to normal here soon.
He is a generous God. That's true. We should be happy.
Yeah, it's interesting to see him and Wilhelm down there fighting back and forth. And
yes.
Yeah, he literally said, "You think that you control your city? Nah."
Yes, absolutely. And the funniest part is, if you're not a Democrat or don't know many Democrats, you might think that they're on the same team. And in theory, they are, right? In theory, they're both Democrats. So in theory, they're on the same team. But in reality, as I've spoken many times, and it keeps coming up, de Blasio is a true believer. He really believes that socialism is the answer. He's proud. He said it. He literally openly says it. Wealth redistribution is the answer. Yes, I'm doing it. Yes, that's the answer. He is a true believer. He really believes if he just takes 95% of all your income, he will provide that socialist utopia he's been talking about. But Cuomo isn't. Cuomo's not a true believer. Cuomo's a Cuomoist. He would be a libertarian, a Republican, a communist, doesn't matter. He's whatever it takes for him to be in charge. If he thought he could be a communist or a socialist or whatever, he could be a Republican, a conservative. If he thought that would keep him in power, he would change overnight. I'm a conservative now. Absolutely. If he thought he could win. And de Blasio hates that because he thinks he's a heretic. He thinks he's a apostate. He does not like that. That's why they fight.
Yeah. And then I also saw Cuomo said, well, Broadway can open up now. And Broadway said, well, I guess thanks, but it's going to take a while.
Yes. Like you could just do a Broadway show overnight. Oh, tomorrow we're open? There's a Broadway show. I mean, it takes forever. Most who don't know this, right? If you're in the field, or if you're in New York City, you might even know if you're in that area at all. Most Broadway shows lose money. You've got to be able to prep it, promote it, get people going, get the right people there. Oh my God. It is a serious production. It's way easier than just showing a movie. Now, making a movie obviously is a massive production, but imagine making a movie every night or 2 times a day, 5 or 6 times a week. That's what Broadway is. You're making the entire thing every day, multiple times a day, usually at least 5 times a week, sometimes 6. This is not a simple thing, but I go back to it again. Our governor has never been in business. He doesn't understand how business works. He doesn't know what it takes to make things happen. That's why he fails so often.
Yeah, well, to borrow from his metaphor, I guess, he's got the valves, right, that he slowly opens and turns.
Yes.
But it seems like whenever he opens something up, he doesn't pitch it that way. It's a knife switch, right? You throw it and it's magically back on,
yes.
Right? But in reality, it takes a minute,
It does.
And I think everyone does that on purpose, because if you can say that, see, it's all back to normal. See, I'm out of the way. It's like,
Yes.
well, you came in and you stomped on my sandcastle and kicked it all over the place. And thanks that now I can rebuild, but that's not really helpful.
Yeah, well, the reality, the best way of making this work, and I spoke about it last year, and I'll bring it up now even, it's still repairable. There is a group, I think it's called the Wellness, now I forgot what it's called. There's a Wellness Seal. I don't remember the name of the company, but it's a nonprofit, I believe, that has a bunch of celebrities behind it. And they say, if you see this Wellness Seal on a store, then that means the store goes through the appropriate, protocols to be safe for COVID. It's a brilliant idea. So why doesn't the government just do that? Say, hey, here's the protocols that we would like to say that you are safe. Or here are the things we will say that have to be true to make you safe. And we'll have our people go by, and instead of having our agents go by and punish you with fines and fees, instead they'll inspect you. And if you pass, you get a seal. If you don't pass, you don't get a seal. So now, Broadway, whenever you're prepared to open up, open up. But you don't open up with our seal unless you do what we ask. And here are the criteria. So you can now prepare for this and decide when is the appropriate time to open up, when we'll give you a seal. Now, if the average New Yorker doesn't care about the seal, they'll go in anyway. If the New Yorker cares about the seal, they'll wait till you have it. In addition, let the wellness people have a seal, and the state has a seal, and now you as the consumer can decide, what do I care about? I want both seals, or I'm not going in. Or I only trust one seal. Or I don't care, I only trust this seal. Or I don't care at all. I want to go to a play, I'm going. Whatever the case may be, as long as they are transparent. You could have put this into place literally 6 months ago, so that now every individual organization, every individual site, every individual facility can plan how to reopen, whether that's financing, money, bodies, skills, whatever the case may be. But when you just flip that lever, like you just said, you've actually just screwed people up. And you've ensured the big guy can win, little guy can fail. Oh, we haven't heard that before? How does a little guy gather the talent quickly? How does a little guy gather everything he or she wants, the money, quickly? They can't. But a big organization can, because it has cash reserves and it has talent and skill reserves. So the second that you open up, big guy opens up. I'm ready to go. They open up their own valve. The little guy has no chance.
Yeah, it really is too bad. And you see that concept with the government stamp of approval happening all over the place. Here in my county, the county executive said, well, if all of your employees get vaccinated, we might consider allowing them to work without a mask. And it's like, well, you could just put the stamp on there and then let them do what they want. And if people see them wearing a mask, or they don't, then they can decide whether or not to come in. But they still want to make those choices for you.
Absolutely. Right now, what if you say, if you get all your employees vaccinated and our inspector comes by and sees that it's true, they show the cards, you get a stamp. I'm okay with that too. But now again, Craig, you can decide. Do you care if everybody in that store is vaccinated or not? If you do, only go into those stores. If you don't go. I mean, it really is that simple. And the individual people get to make a decision on their own on whether they should or shouldn't go. And if it is true that everybody wants everyone to be vaccinated, they'll all get vaccinated because they'll have to, but not because His Majesty says so, but because their community says, I'm not gonna go in unless you're all vaccinated. So do what you want, but I'm not coming in. And I have a right to decide that or not. And this is a fairer way of allowing communities to decide what's important for them. And here's the best part. What if there's one store who's belligerent and says, no one's getting vaccinated. I'm the heck with it all. And people decide, I'm with that guy. Vaccines are dumb. I'm going to go. Whatever. Okay, they go. Do they wind up getting sick? If they do, we've just found out how valuable it is. And if they don't, then we just realized how invaluable it is. Or how not valuable it is. Invaluable actually means valuable. So how not valuable it is. That's what I'm saying. That's a solution. Is it not, Craig?
Yeah, I believe so, but they're not looking for a solution. They want control.
Bingo, my friend. I want a solution. A free solution. And that's what I'm all about. 585-346-3000. Craig, thank you for the phone call. Back.
Thank you.
After the break.
The new Dan Bongino Show, coming May 24th. AM 1040 Avon Rochester, FM 92.1 Rochester, and FM 95.5 Spencerport.
Here's the latest forecast from the News 10 NBC Weather Center for today. It's going to be mostly cloudy. It will be mild, temps near 70, but cooler up near the lake. And it will be the occasional shower, maybe even a little thunderstorm with a gust of wind to downpour this afternoon, especially south of the thruway. So keep an eye on the sky, have that umbrella handy for today. Some showers tonight and some rain into tomorrow morning. I'm Rich Cornelia, WYSL.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at Simple Tech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, Simple Tech Innovation should be your first call. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
Because your future is worth it. MGM Associates Insurance. Proudly serving the region since 1984, MGM can meet your coverage needs, ranging from home, condo, and auto, all the way to specialized policies for business, workers' comp, to limo and taxi insurance, and coverage for tech professionals like IT specialists. They can also help lead you through the confusing maze in the new world of health insurance coverage and options. MGM Associates is large enough to serve you, but small enough to care, so you don't have to wait in line on some 800 number to get prompt personal attention. MGM Associates is the only winner of the National Best Practices Award 5 times in a row. MGM is proud to support veterans groups, including Heroes Home Advantage. For your personal, business, home, or professional insurance needs, put the experience of MGM Associates Insurance on your team. Locally and proudly owned at 1745 Penfield Road in Penfield. 381-7008 or mgminsure.com, an associate of Finger Lakes Fire and Casualty, Route 227 in Trumansburg, New York.
Dear Dr. Sussman.
Dear Dr. Sussman, I just wanted to write to all the wonderful people who work with Dr. Sussman and Dr. Pogel at the Center for Cosmetic Dentistry.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Each person in the office made me feel my smile.
Not only am I completely happy with my smile, but I feel you've been there for me with all my dentistry.
I've had several dentists in my life, but never a dentist of your caliber. You have state-of-the-art.
You keep current in your field as evidenced by your numerous diplomas and certificates, and your entire staff is really the cream.
I'm thrilled with the outcome of your skills and artistry. It's made such a difference in my life.
Dr. Sussman, Dr. Pogel, and the entire staff at the Center for Cosmetic Dentistry take great pride in providing not only advanced dental care, but extraordinary cosmetic dentistry. They love what they do and have a partnership with their patients toward long-term dental health.
For a bright, confident, beautiful smile.
Thank you, Dr. Sussman.
Thank you, Dr. Pogel.
Thank you.
Change your life, change your smile.
For more information, call the Center for Cosmetic Dentistry at 22 Smile or visit 22-smile.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Pat Brophy from UR Medicine, Golisano Children's Hospital. When your favorite team wins, it's because they work together. When a medical team saves a life, it's because they put all their skills together. That's why Golisano Children's Hospital is so dedicated to creating a healthy community. It will give kids in the region access to advanced care, help us do groundbreaking research, and provide top-notch training to the next generation of pediatricians. You can help us do this. So please, give to Golisano Children's Hospital.
Geneseo Hardware and Rental, Route 20A in Geneseo, is Livingston County's most complete rental center. Geneseo Hardware and Rental has a wide selection of equipment rental items for all your project needs. Over 6,000 square feet with a large selection of plumbing, electrical, home and garden, and much more. Geneseo Hardware offers Valspar paint, plus screen and window repair. Geneseo Hardware and Rental, Route 20A next to Wegmans Plaza. Visit geneseo-rental.com.
I want to cook you the best cheeseburger ever, in your life, ever. I'm Riley from Tom Walls. Fresh ground steak, 2 slices of cheese. We don't cut corners. Tom Walls.
Tom Walls.
Avon Gun and Hunting Supply, a locally owned and operated gun shop specializing in pre-owned firearms and repairs. Get your rifle, shotgun, or pistol serviced and tuned before you take it to the field. Open Tuesday through Saturday. Avon Gun and Hunting Supply, East Main Street, next to the Bank of Castile.
A free solution.
Yes, indeed, it is Larry Sharp here on A Free Solution. WYSL, Rochester, New York. WENY, ENI, Elmira, Corning, the Patriot. WACK in Newark, New York. 585-346-3000. Please follow us on A Free Solution on YouTube and Facebook. And follow me on my other show, The Sharp Way, almost every single night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, I'm yapping even more than I yap now. Follow me on The Sharp Way, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the interwebs. We're there. A lot of you have been putting up comments, and I want to grab many of them. I appreciate all the input that you guys have been giving me. So let me try if I can. Andrew says, regardless of me getting COVID shot, Moderna, I still trust these 3 shots: tequila, whiskey, and vodka. Nice. I appreciate that, Andrew. Nicely done. I love that. That's good. So, look, I'm not anti-vaccine. Do what you feel is appropriate. Follow what you think is right for your family and for your own health, what you think is appropriate. I don't get to judge that. You do. That's the whole point. You do. Landman John says, I'm bankrupt over this. I'm heartbroken that you say that. And I say that because I know how it feels to fall down so badly that there's no way to return. Or it feels that there's no way to return. What I would say is, I hope that you know that you're not alone. There are literally millions of people going bankrupt. Bankruptcy, divorces, all types of problems with children, all types of issues. The government lockdown and response to COVID for our youth particularly was devastating, particularly our youth, many of us, but particularly our youth and our entrepreneur class. It has devastated us in more ways than we can imagine, and we're going to see that fallout over the next 2 or 3 or 4 years. And the government will step in and go, I'll save you from the problem that I gave you. That's what's going to happen. And I want to be clear about this. COVID is real. COVID does hurt and kill people. It does. Mostly elderly, but others. Destroying businesses, destroying jobs, crushing careers, devastating school hopes, stopping athletic careers. COVID didn't do that. That was government. Please don't forget that. There's a difference. Destroying us economically and socially is not what COVID does. COVID hurts you physically. Socially and economically, that's government. That's the critical piece here. So I hope I can give you a bit of hope, and that is you can recover. Bankruptcy is not the end. You have to look at it as an event. And let me give you some advice that I got from a very savvy woman by the name of Carol Hyatt. Years ago, she gave me this advice, and it's so good that I say it often. We, you, me, everybody, we have to look at failure for what it actually is. It's an event. That's all it is. It's an event. It's something that happened. The question now is, how do you react to that event? How do you react to it? The event happened. The failure happened. Whether that is a personal failure, a romantic failure, an economic failure, a career failure, business failure, whatever the failure, political failure, whatever it is, it's an event. The question becomes, how do you respond to it? When I ran for governor, my loss was a failure. And I felt even worse because of all the people who were behind me, who they felt it was a failure too. But I practiced what I preached, and I took it as an event. And I speak of it as an event. The question was, how do I react to it? And I reacted to it by continuing to fight, by keeping it going, not stopping. And I had a choice. I could have said, give up. This sucks. I'm leaving New York City. That was an option. The power that I had once the event occurred was how do I react to it? And I would ask you, and anyone else listening, who is going through failures right now, and many of us are, particularly in New York, personal, professional, romantic, family, all those things, take it as an event. It's a thing that happened. It doesn't define me, doesn't define my life, doesn't define my friends. All it is an event. If I take it as that, I have only one question to answer. How do I respond? And I hope, Landman John, that you are able to respond positively and understand there are people who will care about you and will try to help you. Probably not government, probably family and friends, probably community. I would ask one more thing. The fact you said I'm bankrupt over this is amazing because you've owned it. You said that's the event. If you don't ask for help or assistance, you won't get it. And the funny part is, the people who care about us, the people who actually do care, and there's always people that do, don't respond unless you ask them. If you ask them, they will often respond. But here's the funniest part for anyone listening. If you've been through this, you're going to agree with me completely. When you fall down badly, there's a group of people who you think will help you, a handful, maybe 5 people. You'll ask those 5 people to help. 2 or 3 will. 2 or 3 will disappoint you. You thought they'd help you. They're not going to. 2 or 3 will. And the opposite is also true. There's 5 people who you thought would never help you, would never step in to help you. 2 or 3 of them will. There are people who will surprise you on both sides. People you thought would help, who won't. People who didn't think you'd help, will help. Good luck, my friend. I hope you're able to recover from this. Andrea says, politics is just a popularity contest. It's not about policies anymore. Yeah, Andrea, you're right. It's literally a vote. It's a popularity contest. Yes, 100%. I agree. And I've accepted that as true. And I'm trying to be more popular. Why do you think I'm doing this? Be more popular because it's a popularity contest. You are correct. I've accepted it as true and I'm acting accordingly. I'm trying to practice what I preach. Yes. People who buy Cuomo's BS are delusional. That's a tough one, Andrew. I'm not sure that's true. I think for some it is. I think for others, they're desperate. They're trying to find an answer. And we in the country, in New York too, but in the country, we're so busy trying to fight culture wars that we're not trying to help ourselves. We're so busy going, you're the other, and I'm mad at you. So we don't try to fix anything. And then people don't have solutions. Free solutions, which are the best ones. They don't have solutions. So they become desperate. And they go, well, at least it's not this guy. And we vote for that. Absolutely. 100%. Desiree says, politics is a dirty game. It shouldn't be. Agreed. She calls it politricks. Nicely done. Politricks. I love that. Garrett says, where do our rights come from? I'd argue not from the Constitution or any government. What I would say, Garrett, is people often ask this question of me. Larry, where do you think our rights come from? And I'm a little bit flippant. And sometimes it makes people upset, but I hope you understand what I mean when I say this. It doesn't matter. And you may go, what? How can it not matter? Because regardless of where your rights come from, people in uniform with weapons, usually men with guns, but it doesn't have to be that. It's often that, will come take them unless you can stop them. They will come take them. Whether those rights come from our Creator, God, Constitution, government, some book, wherever you think your rights come from, people with weapons will come take them. Usually men with guns, but not always, but usually men with guns. But people with weapons will come take them. if you're not prepared to somehow defend them, it doesn't have to be with violence. Gandhi showed us you don't have to do it with violence. MLK said not required to do it with violence. Our founding fathers said violence. So both are the right answer. It depends upon where you are, what you're doing. I'm going to try the nonviolent route. I think that's the one we should always start with no matter what. So, yeah, that's why I say it. I don't mean to be flippant, Garrett, at all. I don't. I'm just saying where my head is. We have to be prepared to defend. That's it. Nick says, lots of people are very quick to say, well, it's a pandemic. And if people don't get vaccinated and go out, et cetera, they're going to spread the disease and people will die. So their answer, limit rights and privileges, whatever it takes to be safe. The problem is, where do we draw the line? Yes. Where do we sacrifice safety and security? Everything, as long as we don't die. I disagree with that, Nick. I'm with you. I think you do also. So you're being sarcastic and asking the question. I get it. And I'm with you. I'll go back to my most basic concept. You own your life. And I was bringing this up like there's no tomorrow last year. I haven't brought up that much recently, but Nick, thank you. I'll bring it up now. When they were closing down churches, people were like, no, you got to close down a church. Older people go to church. They're the most vulnerable. They're going to go and sing and talk and get the disease and die. And it's wrong. We got to shut it down to protect them. And my response was, it's their life. I happen to agree with the people who say they shouldn't go. I believe, it is my opinion, that if you are over 60, particularly during the uptick of COVID, you shouldn't go to church. That's my opinion. You shouldn't go. You should find other ways of worshiping. That's my opinion. And that's all I get to have is my opinion. But if you want to, if you desire to go to church and you believe that it's okay to gamble or sacrifice your life for your faith, that's your right. That's your right. I don't get to choose. You own your life and you have a freedom of religion. If you want to sacrifice your life for that or gamble it, you may. You own your life. It's a critical piece. Am I wrong? Am I crazy? 585-346-3000. A free solution. Back after the break.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to SimpleTech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that SimpleTech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at SimpleTech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at SimpleTech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. SimpleTech Innovations.
Hi, my name is Ryan Bourne.
And I'm Danica Bourne.
And we're the owners of South Coast Tax. We would like to thank our Lord for protecting us from evil. Psalm 91 states, He is my refuge and my fortress, for He will rescue us from every trap and protect us from deadly disease.
South Coast Tax are Christian-based tax accountants and attorneys who specialize in releasing bank levies, wage garnishments, and filing complex tax returns. We are the leaders in acceptance of offers and compromise with awesome results.
We are also a small firm who will treat you like family and not just a number.
Call us today at 1-800-TAX-1176 for a free consultation, and we'll take the time to explain all of the programs that you qualify for in order to allow you a fresh start.
In John 8:36, so if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. And one way we can achieve that is by being debt-free. So let us help you today. Call us at 1-800-TAX-1176, and together we can help achieve this goal by putting the IRS tax debt behind you for good. Again, that number is 1-800-TAX-1176.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at Simple Tech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, Simple Tech Innovation should be your first call. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ better.
Just had a call. He didn't want to go on the air. Sam from Rochester, you can give a shout out to. He fully agrees with you
3182.
that, we can make our own decisions.
3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
A free solution.
Oh, yes. It is Larry Sharp here on a free solution. WYSL, Rochester, New York. WENY, ENI, Elmira, and Corning, the Patriot. WACK in Newark, New York. Prior to the break, I was talking a lot. I went on my libertarian rant. I apologize, guys. It's who I am. I can't break that. That's what I do. And I had somebody call in, Sam from Rochester, saying, completely on board. Thank you for the call, Sam. I appreciate it. I'm very happy that you reached out, and I'm glad you agree that we should be able to make our own decisions without question. There is a chat, a conversation in the chat about the ideas of security and liberty. There's a concept that's going back and forth, and people talk about it all the time, particularly libertarians, the idea that you can't have both, that they are mutually exclusive. They're not. And I'll give you the perfect example. New York City, after 9/11. 9/11 happened, and I was here for it. I did not see the first plane hit. I only saw the second plane hit. I did not see the first. And I am very lucky in that the people who died there, no one, for me, I was lucky that there was no one who was close to me. I knew a couple people, but they were distant acquaintances, people I'd met many years ago, no one who I was very close to. So I was very lucky. Some of my friends were not so lucky, and they lost real friends and people who were close to them. I didn't lose them. But the city was scared. The country was scared. We went on war sprees that we're still on now because of that. But did we make the equivalent of red flag laws in New York City? We didn't. Well, what actually worked, we made many laws and rules in New York City that made New York City worse and didn't make us any safer. But there was one thing we did that did make us safer. We instituted, if you see something, say something. And they say, Larry, is that a law? No. And that's my point. It was a cultural saying, a change in our culture. Don't just walk away. If you see something that looks suspicious, say something. But there wasn't a law. You weren't required to, and you still aren't in New York City. In other words, you're not liable or responsible if you see something and you don't say something. There's no rule. It's just we tell each other that. Literally, you see it on train stations. You see it on billboards. You see commercials for it. People talk about it. You see T-shirts. And people are like, yeah, if you see something, you say something. So now the people of New York City know, yeah, if we care about our city, then we want to defend it. And most people who live in New York City care about New York City. Otherwise, you don't live in New York City, right? You don't live here if you don't care. You live here, you care about your city. So they care. So when things happen, they tell people. That's how we've stopped actual terrorist attacks, actual bombers. That's how we stopped them. How much do you think the TSA has stopped? Literally nothing. Literally nothing. I'm not making that up. There were more felonies committed by the TSA than criminals that they've caught. So the TSA has been a net punishment on Americans. They've committed more felonies than they've stopped. And you think I'm making it up? Do your own homework. Absolutely true. But an idea, a concept of if you see something, say something, has actually worked without a law, without a rule, without force. Yes, I'm going to go libertarian on you. If it's a good idea, why does it require force? We have to start asking us that question. If it's a good idea, why do we have to use force? You can still have liberty and have security. It is possible. It can be done. Is it sometimes harder? Yeah. Is it worth it? Yes. Because it's a long-term solution that doesn't make people feel like I have to, I must. They say, I want to. I've decided to. I care about my city and I will defend it. Versus if I don't call, I'll get in trouble. Well, I'm not calling now. I'm out. I'm not going to see anything. I'm going to cover my eyes. That's what winds up happening. And by the way, for those who don't know, during 9/11, prior to 9/11, they did tell the FBI. The FBI was incompetent, but they told the FBI. And this, so as you remember the story, the hijackers were literally taking pilot lessons, and they weren't learning how to land. True story. They were only learning how to fly. And so, of course, the instructor's like, it is weird. You don't know how to land? Like, no. I don't need that. Just how do I fly? So you don't care about landing? Nope. Don't care about that at all. And of course, they said, this is weird. So they called the FBI. It's these dudes. They're learning how to fly. And they don't care about landing. And the FBI said, thank you. Walked away. That's what happened. So see something, say something. Gives us security and gives us liberty. We can get both. It is possible. And guess how much that costs? Nothing. It's free. No need for people in uniforms. No need for a new bureaucracy. No need for a new agency. No need for new taxes or fees. No need. It's free and is proven to absolutely work. That's the issue. Proven to absolutely work. We can do this, guys. It's not impossible. Let me grab some more comments. You guys are going back and forth in the chat. If you guys don't know, you can follow A Free Solution on Facebook and YouTube if you want to, and watch, and you can enjoy in the chat if you like. Up to you. I hope that some of you will. So let me grab this, if I could, a couple more of these comments that people are doing. Sam says, if a person harms another, they are subject to lawsuits or jail time. When a politician harms another, they say it isn't their fault. And they fail upward and ramp up the rhetoric. I like that. Yes, it's very true. 100%. I think it's Jose. I can't tell the name. Sorry. Mr. Garcia says, move upstate so we can have a libertarian congressman and senator. I have a better idea. You live upstate. Why don't you run? I'll help you. I don't want this being the Larry Sharp movement. I want it to be our movement. A good leader has to make more leaders. And I hope I can make some more leaders. Thank you for this afternoon, guys. I will see you in a couple days.